Have you ever wondered why the olive was invented? Well, I'll tell you. It was so martini drinkers wouldn't starve. Okay, maybe that's not 100% true. But the olive and the martini do go together like peanut butter and jelly. And if you are someone who prefers his or her martini served with an olive, then I think you will agree that the fruit of the olive tree is a sacred fruit indeed. The olive tree itself, as we know it today, had its origins somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 years ago in a region that was once known as Mesopotamia. And the edible olive seems to have been around for about 5,000 or 6,000 years. Keep in mind that one does not simply stroll up to an olive tree, martini in hand, pick a few of the fruit and deposit them into his or her glass. Olives must be cured first before being consumed, as they are virtually inedible when picked, being extremely bitter tasting. The curing of olives, much like the making of some spirits, is more like a fermentation process, during which the olive's natural sugars are changed into lactic acid, while the harsh and bitter-tasting chemical compounds get removed. There are, of course, many ways to do this, depending on region and local tradition, but here are the 5 basic ways that the curing of olives is accomplished. The first being brine curing. This is the process by which the olives are placed directly into vats containing a brine or salt water solution. This can take up to a year to complete, but the wait is well worth it, as olives cured in this fashion often have a rich, almost sweet flavor to them. Next we have dry curing. These olives get packed in salt. The salt pulls moisture and bitterness from the olives, and when finished curing, the salt is removed and the olives get bathed in olive oil to keep them juicy and plump. Dry cured olives have a deeply concentrated flavor and a wrinkly, prune-like appearance. Then there is water curing. This is simply when the olives are rinsed repeatedly in water over a long period of time. This method is quite seldom used though, as it is by far the slowest. In some rare cases, olives can be cured either on the branch or once picked by being left to bathe in the sunlight. This method is called sun or air curing. The last and most common method is lye curing. Due to its low cost and short duration, this method is mostly used by large commercial olive producers. Basically, the raw olives are placed in vats of lye solution, after which this highly caustic chemical is neutralized by the addition of some form of acid solution. And although not harmful to the consumer, most olive connoisseurs will tell you that the lye tends to impact the flavor of the olives in a less than favorable manner. In truth, the vast majority of olives that arrive in one's martini have probably been produced using this last method. It's probably safe to say, though, that 99% of the jarred green olives one finds in the local supermarket have been cured using lye. In a future episode, we will be tasting and comparing a number of brands of martini olives and sharing with you our findings. See you next week. Cheers.